Let's talk about political violence. This weekend, a man named Cole Allen allegedly tried to assassinate the president. This happens a lot, and we increasingly don't really seem to care much about it, which is a problem, I think.
There will be some shots fired tonight.
July 2024, I'm on a plane. I had just taken my headphones off when I hear the unmistakable ding of push alerts going off across the plane. So I pull out my phone and I get on Wi-Fi and I see that someone has tried to shoot President Donald Trump. The flight attendant comes up, the beverage cart, and the guy sitting next to me turns to her and he says, "Oh my God, someone just tried to shoot President Trump." And the flight attendant says, "Oh my God, really?" with a big smile on her face, realizes that's probably not the best look, and goes, "Oh no." It's a moment that's really stuck with me. One, because it's kind of funny, and two, because it felt like I was living through history. It felt like a big deal. Almost 2 years later, I'm sitting in a bar in Brooklyn, watching the Knicks game with some friends, and I happen to check my phone right as someone tries to shoot the president again. This time there were no dings around the room. They didn't even change the TVs. No one cared. No one even seemed to notice. That's weird, right? People have tried to kill Trump a bunch. I mean, the Wikipedia article for security incidents involving Donald Trump is so long. I didn't even know about half of these. If we're talking about political violence in America, it's probably best to start in 2022. A man breaks into Representative Nancy Pelosi's house and attacks her husband, Paul Pelosi. It became a massive trending topic for right-wing accounts who were very, very excited about it and spent weeks spreading conspiracy theories that the attacker was actually Paul Pelosi's secret gay lover.
But if we've learned anything about the Pelosis, you just got to keep asking questions.
Why is the conservative movement to blame for gay schizophrenic nudists that are hemp jewelry makers breaking into somebody's home?
It effectively wrote the playbook for how we deal with all political violence now. News of an attack hits our feeds, and immediately users start spinning elaborate conspiracy theories and making jokes and memes about it.
What's his name would make a joke of it, as did his children, as did a Republican governor.
What's really interesting about the Paul Pelosi attack is this right-wing playbook of flooding the zone with shit, with random posts and jokes and memes and conspiracy theories, continued over, actually, to when someone tried to shoot Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania in 2024. A man opened fires at a rally, grazing President Trump on the ear and shooting and killing a man behind him in the crowd. The right-wing internet lit up immediately with conspiracy theories about who could have been behind the attack. But the next part of our story has nothing to do with Democratic or Republican politicians. Instead, we've got to talk about Luigi Mangione. December 2024. United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson is killed in a parking garage in New York City. After a lengthy public manhunt, Luigi Mangione was arrested and charged with Thompson's murder. Bullets found at the scene read deny, defend, depose. And obviously, he's become very popular. This is probably partly to do with the fact that the American healthcare system is a mess and everyone hates healthcare companies. It's also probably connected to the fact that he's just a really beautiful guy. Reddit really loves Luigi Mangione's feet, more than anything in the whole world. And all the comments are guys trying to figure out where to buy his shoes. June 2025. Democratic state politician Melissa Hortman and her husband are both killed.
I'm not familiar. The
Minnesota House Speaker, a Democrat, who was assassinated this summer.
Mike Cernovich blames Minnesota Governor Tim Walz for the murder. This gets picked up by the AI inside of X.com, Grok. And then just this year, in January, Donald Trump will later post a conspiracy theory on Truth Social accusing Minnesota Governor Tim Walz of carrying out the assassination.
I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights.
September 2025. Conservative influencer Charlie Kirk is gunned down and killed at a rally at a college in Utah. The Republicans pounced on this. They decided that they were going to take this very seriously, unlike the ways they had treated the attack on Paul Pelosi or the attack on Melissa Hortman. This time, they were going to be the responsible ones. They were going to turn Charlie Kirk into a martyr.
Charlie's voice has become bigger and grander than ever before.
And in a lot of ways, they became a laughingstock.
And it's not even close.
The internet is now full of Charlie Kirk AI brain rot and memes about him to a point where his legacy is probably tarnished forever. And it's basically become impossible to take Republicans seriously when they say or do anything now. Yes, they pressured ABC to fire Jimmy Kimmel, which didn't happen. And yes, they've tried to replace Charlie Kirk with Erica Kirk and made everyone fly their flags at half-mast, but the whole thing felt ridiculous. And it felt ridiculous because we've spent the last 4 years not taking any of this seriously. And an extra dimension to this is that the bullets that killed Charlie Kirk had memes written on them. At this point, not even the assassins really seem to care. The whole thing is stupid. The whole thing is nihilistic. And that finally brings us back to this month. Joe Kent went on the Tucker Carlson podcast and said that an investigation into the shooting in 2024 in Butler, Pennsylvania was basically thrown out.
But I'm saying there's a lot of unanswered questions there.
And this kicked off a massive renewed interest in the idea that the original Donald Trump assassination attempt was a false flag. Only this time, it wasn't just Democrats. A lot of these influencers that Trump relied on for his second presidential campaign are realizing that he's a really unpopular president and there's no point going down with the ship. Former Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene is coming out of the woodwork saying that she believes that the Butler, Pennsylvania assassination attempt was fake. Candace Owens, who was banging on about the idea that maybe Charlie Kirk was assassinated by Republicans or Israel or someone else.
It's very insulting to say that brainwashed mind control operative acted alone.
No one really believes anything they're seeing or hearing now.
Please stop.
April 2026. A man named Cole Allen, a teacher from California, allegedly tries to assassinate the president at the White House Correspondents' Dinner in D.C.
The so-called manifesto is a stunning thing to read, Mr. President. I am no longer willing to permit a pedophile, rapist, and traitor to coat my hands with his crimes.
Cole Allen spent a bulk of his time online writing about how he thought the assassination attempt against Donald Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania in 2024 was fake. No one believes anything anymore. Apparently, even our assassins. The right wing doesn't believe their own propaganda. The Democrats don't believe anything either. Nothing really matters. And so we've entered this very strange world where people continue to try to kill the president and no one really seems to care. And the majority of people don't believe it even happened. One of the most popular posts about the most recent assassination attempt on Donald Trump is someone arguing that the shooter may have been a time traveler. I mean, what are we doing here? This unreality that we're living in didn't happen by accident. It was a concerted effort from the right wing to make it so we couldn't trust what we see, what we read, what we hear, and to make the internet completely unusable. But not being able to trust what you see and hear is only phase 1. Phase 2 is not caring at all.
I think I might have killed the president. Please learn from my story. Don't be a fool and never let it